Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the lunch table. I'm your host, Ben Houselog, a.k.a. Ben Like Sports, a.k.a. I just won again in fantasy, and we just witnessed one of the greatest football weekends of all time, and that is not exaggeration. You had college football upsets, records broken, and probably the greatest 1 p.m. slate in NFL history. All of that coming up right now on the lunch table. Shannon Sharp, take it away.
Yams, collard greens, mac and cheese.
We start in the 1 p.m. slate with the Titans at the Texans. And a lot of people thought the Texans needed a get-right game. They're going to go in, Titans, whatever. They're not that good of a team, and that's it. And that did not happen. The Titans beat the Texans 32-27. And the Texans' passing game is kind of struggling with a bad offensive line. We thought it was because Nico Collins was out. He was leading the NFL in receiving yards. He comes back in. And it's still bad. It's not horrible. It's not like bottom tier, but it's concerning. It is very concerning. The AFC South is probably the worst division in football right now. I will say that right now. And like I said, the Titans are no slouch of a team. Watching Will Levis, first of all, he has much watched TV, but Will Levis is like watching two Ferraris in a car accident, right? You watch from afar. Like you watch the box score and stuff like that. You watch from afar and you're like, oh my gosh, it's a horrible car crash. That's awful. But then you get closer and you watch them, you're like, yo, those are two Ferraris. And that's what watching Will Levis is like. He throws a really bad pick six. Next time he goes out 70-yard touchdown. He is fearless when he throws the ball, and I respect that. However, the Texans, they might be on fraud watch. I was really, really iffy about them when they had 5 interceptions. Jared Goff threw them the ball 5 times. That is 5 extra possessions, and they lost the game at home. But now, you lose to the Titans at home? The Titans who have no chance of making the playoff? Sure, it doesn't do anything in the divisional standings because everybody else in your division is buns, except the Colts. But what are we doing, man? The red flag is going up right now. Everyone's licking their chops. They're thinking, oh my gosh, I hope I draw the Texans. Teams are calculating. If I drop a couple games here and I make the playoffs, who do I play? If it's the Texans, you're rubbing your hands together. Home field advantages don't seem like home field advantage. You lost to the Lions when you got 5 picks, and you lost to the Titans. Needless to say, we got the Texans absolutely wrong. But Will Levis is like watching two Ferraris in a car crash. It's scary. Obviously, in the car crash, everybody's okay, right? Let's say 2 auto-driven, autopilot Ferraris crashing. It's weird, but it's like, oh my gosh, I don't see Ferraris that much. That's pretty cool. It sucks they crashed into each other. Like, it sucks that Will Levis threw another pick 6, but he bounced back. CJ Stroud, sophomore slump, you can say it. Everyone wanted Bobby Slowick to be their head coach in the last hiring cycle, right? Now everyone's calling for Bobby Slowick to be fired. That is how fast the NFL can change. Sure, they lost Stephon Diggs. But the Texans team right now is better than the Texans team was last year, on paper. But it looks bad. CJ Stroud is missing people. They're very undisciplined. They have so many penalties on touchdowns. It's ridiculous. Every single week, Nico Collins gets like a 50-yard touchdown pass. Last week, the Remy Tunsil was taking a stroll. Must have hit the gas mask. Whatever. This week, I forgot what it was, but it wasn't pretty. And it keeps being bad. You can't beat yourself. And the Texans are a team that is beating themselves to a bad team. The Titans are a bad team. Like I said, these are the kind of losses that you look at the end of the year and you're like, man, if we could have had that one, we could have had a better seed in the playoffs. But looking at it, man, the teams who are going to be playing the Texans, it's not looking good. If you look through the AFC, you have the Chargers. You have the Bengals, perhaps. You have the Dolphins. You have the Broncos. And I'm probably forgetting another team. Oh, yeah, the Ravens. Texans, you might be getting the Ravens at home. That should scare the living daylights out of you. The Ravens, if they played right now, you're playing Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in a dome. That should scare you. This was a game that you needed to win. 1, yes, for the division, and 2, You got to start thinking about playoff seeding. It's a 2-team race between the Colts and the Texans, and the Colts don't look that good, and the Texans have 2 wins over them. But it's concerning. I don't mean to be a negative Nancy and go off on a rant, but these are the things that people are thinking about right now. CJ Stroud, you got to lock it in. You need to lock in. But nonetheless, we did end up getting the Texans wrong. That's on me. I didn't expect Will Levis, but I did say the Titans are not a slouch of a team, so I will take a little bit of credit. Just kidding. We don't take credit at all. Moving on. You had the Vikings going into Soldier Field to play the Bears, and the Bears just keep finding different ways to lose. I am so glad that I was born into the correct side of my family, because a lot of my family's Bears fans. That's tough. That is tough. You muff a punt. You get another field goal blocked. But Caleb Williams is arriving. He balled out today. Sure, everyone's going to talk about, well, that drive in overtime, baloney, malarkey, who cares? Shouldn't have gone to overtime. You know why? Never go for 2 the first time. Always go for 2 when you have the momentum. If you go for 2 the first time, then guess what? You have to go for 2 the second time if you don't make it. If you kick the extra point, then you can say either A, we have the momentum, let's take it in OT, or 2, we don't have a lot of momentum. Let's go for 2, either win or lose right here. I'm sick and tired of teams thinking, hey, let's go to OT and win this thing. No. You better drop your nuts, Matt Eberflus, and win it now. Speaking of Matt Eberflus, all due respect, I am kind of being a negative Nancy right now. That's on me. He should not be employed tomorrow. He should be joining me on that couch right there. He should be my podcast co-host tomorrow. Genuinely. He has made so many mistakes, it's ridiculous. But Caleb Williams looked great today. Last second drive. Bears got the onside. Caleb Williams drove him down. DJ Moore looked better today. Keenan Allen looked better today. The Bears offense looked great. Torrey Taylor is a great punter. Bears defense, that's the only reason that Eberflus was kind of getting a little bit of slack. Like, hey, okay, you're a great defensive play caller. It doesn't look like that. Now on the Vikings side, I was being hard on the Bears, but for the Vikings, you just won a game basically without Justin Jefferson. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, he got locked up. If you want to send 2 people at Justin Jefferson, you see what's going to happen now. Sam Darnold, yes, he worries me. Didn't throw any picks today, I don't think, but he still worries me. Now you have TJ Hawkinson getting better and better. Obviously, coming off that knee injury, he's getting better each week. Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, Josh Oliver, Aaron Jones. You have the pieces to win games without having to rely on Justin Jefferson. And when teams see that, it's going to be like, okay, we can't double team him. Well, then you're going one-on-one against the best receiver in the league or second best receiver in the league. Whoever you think. He is top 2, though. Vikings, overtime, pass rush is great. Jonathan Greenard, I think that's his name, or Greenard, I don't know. The R might be silent. I did not major in English, so don't come at me. Is a dog. Brian Flores has the team flying around. Their O-line, sus. Very suspect. But the Bears were in need of a win. Caleb Williams finally played good, and they lost. But here's the thing, Bears fans. Cat's out of the bag, okay? I don't mean to be this guy. You're probably not making the playoffs. Okay, because the worst record making the playoffs right now is the Commanders at 7-4 in the wild card. That's tough. Speaking of Commanders, we will get to that. I know you guys are listening for my take on that. We will get to that. That's actually the next game up on our docket. But here is the thing. The Vikings, I'm going to sound like a hater because I'm a Packers fan. They scare me. That is a team that genuinely scares me. Because they always, of late, find themselves in having to dig themselves out of a hole. But Caleb Williams, man, 350 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, answered the bell every single time except overtime, but he's a rookie. And that's why I said after the first 2 weeks, everyone was screaming about Caleb Williams. The sky is falling. We should have drafted Jaden Daniels. No, he's a rookie in a poorly run organization. Let him change the organization by himself. Tom Brown, if he keeps calling plays like that and he keeps going, I have a hot take. He could be, honestly. I would take him as my interim right now. I would fire Eberflus. I would promote Brown. I'd be like, look, you go ahead. You be the interim head coach. Let's see how it goes. Because the last thing you want to do is get a new head coach in who lets Thomas Brown walk. He goes somewhere else. And then you have a Ben Johnson-esque coach on another team, and you're sitting right back where you were, wishing you had him. Fire Eberflus. I understand the McCaskies don't like doing that. It's not very professional. We're past professionalism. This kid is playing his heart out for you. I say kid, he's actually just a couple months older than me. My fault, big bro. Caleb Williams, you listen to this? That's my fault, big dog. But the Bears are going to be okay. Maybe not this season, but they're going to be okay. You've shown it. Now, you've shown that you have the players and the guys for the future. So now all that you need to do is go and make sure that you have the coaches for the future. Right now you don't. Now you have a free trial period. It's like when I keep signing up for Netflix and then under different emails and then canceling. I just use the free trials, man. Probably never going to commit to it. It's like dating a girl for 6 years. I have friends that have done it. They're still dating. My friend and his girlfriend have been dating for 9 years. I'm like, dude, when are you going to engage to her? He's like, I don't know. Brother, you have a dog and a house together. Put a ring on it. All right, Bears? All you need is to find a coach that works well. You found a coach that works well with Caleb. Do not let him go. Build around your franchise first overall pick. Everything else you can get in the draft. You can get in free agency. But what you can't do is get a quality coach like you can get a quality player. Doesn't work that way. Keep Tom Brown. Fire Matt Eberflus. Put Brown in the interim. And let's go to work. Golly, I've been so negative. We're already 12 minutes into this thing. Actually, no. I said it on Twitter. I said, I'm going to take my time today. And that's what I'm going to do. We also got the Bears wrong. We started out 0-2. But now we go into the Cowboys at the Commanders, where the Cowboys beat the Commanders 34. I got to get on my phone. 34, and I'm pretty sure for some reason it cut off on my Google Doc to 26. 8-point victory. And this is a game that we said, look, I have no analytical backing. I just got a feeling in the stones that the Cowboys are going to win, and the Cowboys won. This was an absolute stunner of the game. Stunner of a game. The Commanders, down 10, right? Yeah. Wait, no. Down 11. Excuse me. Commanders down 11. Go down, score a touchdown, get the 2-point. 3 minutes left. All you got to do, force the Cowboys to a 3-and-out. You probably win the game. You kick it off to the Cowboys. Kevontae Turpin muffs the kickoff. Picks it up, hits a nasty spin move, takes it back to the crib. I don't know what it is about any time someone muffs a kickoff, they get plus 20 attributes across the board. But if I was a special teams coach, I would genuinely be like, hey, if you field this, muff it a little bit. Kick the ball around a little bit. But make sure that you have a good special teams coach. Because if it was the Packers, they would muff the punt through the field goal post and it would be a safety. I don't know how it would be done, but for some reason, Keyshawn Nixon would just punt it through the back. For some reason. That's just how it goes sometimes. But he takes it back, right? And everyone's like, oh, okay, that's the game. Commanders get the ball. Jaden Daniels, with no timeouts, 30 seconds left, throws an 86-yard touchdown to Terry McLaurin to tie the game. Because the Commanders went down, kicked the field goal, whatever, right? Cowboys, 3-and-out, punt the ball. Commanders have the ball. 86 yards to go, 30 seconds, no timeouts. It's like, okay, there's no way they do it again. And they do it again first play. They go all the way down and score a touchdown in one play. And they miss the extra point. Look, man. I'm going to get some heat for this one. I'm going to get some heat for this take. This is why you go for 2 when you have something crazy like that happen. This is why you go for 2. Brother, do you understand the type of stuff that's going on in FedEx Field? Someone's killing small animals whenever Jaden Daniels is down in the crunch time. Dude, there is an equipment manager in Washington that is carrying around like a sparrow, and like cuts its head off and says like a chant or something to get the magic to happen. Because it happens every time. But the thing is, you have a kicker coming off injury. A kicker who had already missed an extra point, already missed a field goal. And in a clutch moment, you say, you know what? I believe in you now. No, Dan Quinn. You are on the ropes against a team that has nothing to lose. Go for two and win the game. My goodness, you have probably one of the best quarterbacks to go for two with in the entire NFL. You have 3 good tight ends with Ertz, Bates, and Sinnott that you can throw different stuff to. Terry McLaurin is hype. Yes, he might be tired. No, you don't have any timeouts. Dude, if you play soft, you will lose. Now, going on to Siebert. Here's the thing. I have seen so many people all over my timeline giving this man death threats, saying that he should be cut from his job. If you don't have Siebert, Commanders fans, you don't win the New York Giants game. This man was probably, for the last month and a half before he got injured, the best kicker in football. Points-wise. He was bailing you guys out. There's a reason that you guys didn't punt. Yes, Jaden Daniels was scoring touchdowns, but Siebert was drilling field goals. He got injured. He came back from injury. Oh, well. Look, you're 7-4, and you're a 7 seed. Is that worrisome? Sure. But there's no one really close to you. Actually, after today, there are some people pretty close to you. But, dude, the last thing that you want to do is get rid of a kicker who was sure-handed, sure-footed, whatever, played very well the whole entire season, and then you're like, okay, yeah, no, you're done. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. It's like you at your job, right? And you had a bad week of like Excel sheets. Like say you messed up on an Excel sheet. Imagine your boss comes up to you and he's like, yeah, you know when you were supposed to put in that sum function? You put in the product. Yeah, you're fired and take your family with you and I hope you die. Like, come on, dude. This man has come through so many times for you and he didn't. And it's not all on him. Jaden Daniels threw 2 picks. Yes, one was a garbage time Hail Mary. But you let the 3-8 at that time Cowboys walk into your stadium, FedEx Field, with RG3 in the building and put the belt on you. That's not good. Look at yourselves in the mirror. Everyone's pointing blame at Siebert. That blame's got to go to everybody. Everybody. The defense played well. Blocked the field goal. Did their thing, but come on, man. Come on. But we did get the Cowboys correct. That was an upset alert. Everybody put your hands together. We got another upset pick. We're kind of on fire with the upset picks. A lot of people thought I was capping. I had to put the video footage out there. We had a YouTube video get 75 views. That's ridiculous. That is insane. I almost called my mom and told her I made it. I said, Mom, that says 75 views. That's a lot of people. A lot of people on YouTube be like, oh, my video's got 75 views. I'm so sad. I'm falling off. I got 75 views, and I just thought of how many people could I put in my condo? Maybe 75, but that would be a lot of people. Sure, it would definitely save me money on my heating bill, but it would still be tough. Moving on to the Patriots at the Dolphins. The Patriots lost 34-15. The Dolphins offense is firing on all cylinders. That is a scary, scary thing, especially for me as a Packers fan. They're firing on all cylinders, going into a must-win game at Lambeau. Here's the thing. Dolphins don't play well in cold weather. But here's the other thing. They have a chance to dispel that, to change the narrative. They have that chance this Thanksgiving at 8:20 p.m. in the frozen tundra. Anyways, not very professional. I'm going to take a sip of my water because bills are tight. Didn't want to buy any Powerade. Drake May almost staged a crazy comeback against the Dolphins. Then he threw a pick, but dude, Drake May just has that dog in him. Christian Gonzalez on the perimeter. Patriots corner. Like I said before the season on my socials, I said this guy is legit. He got hurt last year. This guy is legit, and he is. Fumble return for 6. He's a dog. Jalen Waddle and Jonnu Smith are the unsung heroes of the Miami offense. Obviously, you know about Tua. You know about Tyreek. You know about Devon Achane. You know about Mike McDaniel. Everybody was questioning Jalen Waddle all season. Is he really like a receiver 2, or he's kind of playing like a receiver 4? No. Jalen Waddle's legit. And now that the Dolphins' offense is starting to cook, I wouldn't want to play him in the playoffs. Especially if I played in a dome. If I'm the Texans, I'd be a little nervous. I can't lie. I would be a little nervous. Jonnu Smith, kind of a dog, dude. He does everything. The Dolphins have a bunch of guys that you can line up everywhere. It reminds me of the 49ers when they were healthy. But they weren't healthy. More on that to come. But we got the Dolphins correct. We're back at 2-2, moving in to the Chiefs at the Panthers, where the Panthers almost pulled it off. Chiefs 30, Panthers 27. The Panthers fought tooth and nail and almost led an insane comeback. Bryce Young, in my opinion, his best game of the year against a very good Chiefs secondary. Very good. Probably the best defensive coordinator in the league in Spags. Genuinely. It's one of those things, right, where all you wanted to see from Carolina is, look, they're probably not going to make the playoffs. You have a new coach, 6-year deal. Start of the season, it looked bad. So you bench him. You put him behind a veteran who's not going to poop on Bryce Young, but help him. Veteran gets hurt. Bryce Young goes in, plays a lot better. That's all you wanted to see as a Panthers fan. And he just went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes also just played his best game of the year, throwing the ball wise. You just watched a multiple-time Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback and your first overall from last year rookie, who everyone gave up on, go band for band. Sure, you lost a band for band, but the thing is, that's all you wanted to see. If you were to tell the Panthers fans at the start of the year, Bryce Young and Patrick Mahomes are going to go head-to-head, and you show them Bryce Young's stat line for today. I don't have it in front of me. You show them that, they'd be like, oh my gosh, we won the game. You didn't, but your quarterback did enough for you to win the game. You have a good kicker. You have a young defense. You have a lot of injuries on the defense. Derek Brown being out, he's in, they probably win the game. Chiefs just find ways to win, man. They just do. I hate them for it, but they do. That's just the bottom line. The Chiefs find ways to win. And we got the Chiefs right. But Bryce Young, I have some agendas to push. Everyone called me crazy for saying that this is Bryce Young's redemption season. After the first 2 games, everyone was going at me. I said, hang on. It's a long season, partner. It's a very long season. And a long season it is. Bryce Young, hats off to you. Chiefs won. We are now 3-2 on the weekend. Look at that. Going into the Buccaneers at the New York Giants, where the Buccaneers won 30-7. Mike Evans is back. They didn't really use a lot of Mike Evans. Honestly, they didn't really throw the ball a lot. Baker still had 200-something, 250-plus yards, but Baker and the boys are rolling. Like I said, a lot of people thought Falcons, that was it. They had the division by the nuts. They don't. They don't. Baker Mayfield is like banana in a smoothie. You know, if you get a smoothie, you could put every single fruit on earth, and you're going to taste that banana. The banana pops out, and it controls the smoothie. That is Baker Mayfield on a football team. They play harder when Baker Mayfield is there. He didn't have any passing touchdowns, but he had a rushing touchdown. And the epitome of how Baker plays football was on display. He had a little read option, right, to Bucky Irving off the left side. They were backed up. They were on like their own 3-yard line. Bucky Irving breaks a tackle. He's running up the field. He's already gotten like 30 yards, and it looks like he's about to get tackled from behind until Baker Mayfield blocks the guy, gives them an extra 20 yards. Not a lot of quarterbacks in the league do that. Baker Mayfield doesn't have the strongest arm in the league. He doesn't make the best decisions in the league. He's not the fastest. He's not the smartest. But he has the most stones. There is something to be said for that. The Buccaneers are only a couple coin tosses away from leading the division. If I'm a Buccaneers fan, I'm ecstatic. Everybody thought when Chris Godwin went down, that was the season. Hand up, I basically thought it was too. I said, oh my gosh, in the toughest stretch of their season, they just lost their receiver 2 and their receiver 1 in the same exact game. But we forgot to realize who is under center, and that is Baker Mayfield. That is the epitome of a leader, a guy who raises the team. I'm glad he found his spot in Tampa Bay. Football is better when Baker Mayfield is balling out. Bucky Irving, legit. Rachaad White, legit. Sean Tucker, legit. They have 3 running backs that you can just stick in, and they're a threat to score. From 40 yards in. That's rare. And that's a scary thing. And their defense is coming together. Now for the Giants, it's tough when you don't have your starting safety, Daniel Jones, out there. I mean, he's getting paid $160 million, the largest safety contract in sports. But if we're being legit, they're tanking. Malik Neighbors, though, after the game, they gave him an interview. He said, hang on, I didn't get the ball till we were down 30. The locker room's in shambles. And your star player, as a rookie, on the offensive side of the ball, obviously their best player is Dexter Lawrence, is unhappy with your head coach. That's not good. I don't need to be a psychic to read minds and be like, he is not happy with Brian Dable. And you don't want a receiver getting mad in the locker room. It will tear that locker room apart. Antonio Brown stripped and ran off the field one time. Odell in Cleveland. They kicked Baker out of Cleveland because the receivers weren't happy. You don't want that to happen. Come on now. But the Buccaneers, we got that one correct. They have a very easy schedule coming up. A very, very easy schedule coming up. Falcons, on the other hand, it's going to come down to possibly the last game. They don't play each other, but it could. And especially with the Panthers starting to get good, it's going to be a sneaky, sneaky end of the season. I'm excited to watch it. Moving on to Lions and the Colts. I'll get it out of the way. Yeah, I got it wrong. Yeah, I took my shot. I said the Colts would upset the Lions. Look at me. I'm so cool. I know ball. I don't know ball. That's on me. However, 24-6, it was not as bad as the score looked, in my opinion. Obviously, opinions are like buttholes. We all have them. They all stink. But in the red zone, Anthony Richardson was kind of getting sold. Not kind of. All game, sure, he missed some throws. His receivers were not getting their feet down. They weren't catching the ball. And I understand. You change it from 3-7, it's 24-10. That's not how football works, man. It's a momentum sport. And they were at home, hyped up. Early in the game, it was looking like, oh my gosh, after the opening drive, you could kind of sense it in Lucas Oil. Oh my gosh, we can beat the Lions. But they didn't. Lions offense looked good. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. I'm thinking later down the stretch, they will be giving Jahmyr Gibbs the ball more. We know this. Dave Montgomery is a quality back. He's a good running back. Jahmyr Gibbs is just special. He's just a special running back. He can break off an 80-yard touchdown at a moment's notice. Now, David Montgomery, if you remember, week 1 against the Rams, he's your battering ram. He's okay, we need 5 yards. Let's go get it. However, there was a 4th and 1. It didn't look good. Kind of got blown up. When I saw that, I said, hang on. Colts have some life. They didn't have life. Nope. It was a false Frankenstein. I thought they had life. They did not. But Anthony Richardson looks good. And with the way the Texans look, the Colts are not out of it. There's still a lot of football left, especially for the division. They're probably also fighting for a wild card spot. The division's probably a little bit more realistic, though. But the Lions against a mobile quarterback was interesting. Right? Selfishly, I want to see them against this version of Jordan Love, who's a little bit healthier. Not in the rain. But Lions, All you can do is beat who's in front of you. They beat them by multiple scores. Once again, Lions 24, Colts 6. We got that one wrong. Hand up. I don't know ball. I'm stupid. I'm a meanie. I'm a poopy head. And we move on to the Broncos at the Raiders. Broncos won 29-19. The Broncos are keeping it rolling, man. Straight up. They have Big Nuts Lutz at kicker. Will Lutz, you never know with kicker in this league. And I'm pretty certain that now I'm giving him some credit. This man is about to go 2 for 4 and shank a game-winning field goal. But I'm going to give him his props. Will Lutz is a dog. The Broncos defense took kind of a hit. Looked like Riley Moss hurt his knee. I'm not going to speculate. They're saying ACL. I have no idea. My degree is in marketing, and I got it from ChatGPT, Chegg, and Quizlet. I'm just going to be real. Come and take it from me. I'll put up a do not tread on me flag right in front of my house and scare off anybody who's trying to come take my degree from me. Yeah? Yep. I got assistants. What are you going to do about it? Take it back? I'm doing something that I don't even need a degree. Come and take it, for real. I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. But after this game, Bo Nix has taken the lead for Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. And probably everybody's opinion. It would have been different if the Commanders won, but they didn't. And that's the thing. Momentum into the end of the season. Last year, everyone was like, Purdy, 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 Purdy. And then Lamar just went, yow, right by him and won the MVP. MVP, we also have some more MVP talk later today. Because, let's be real, Sunday Night Football, you guys know what I'm thinking, was special. But the Broncos kept it rolling. That's all you can do. The Raiders, however, they're the perfect team to take a nap to. Like, I'm kind of mad they don't play the middle game on Thanksgiving. Like, get some turkey in you. You see, a lot of my family's old. So we're probably eating Thanksgiving dinner at 3:30. Let's be real. 3:30 dinner. I'm laying out on my grandma's couch. I'm seeing Desmond Ridder sling the ball to Jacoby Myers. I'm like, yeah, it's time to go to sleep. It's a 0-0 game. I wake up. It's a 2-0 game in the fourth quarter. I'm like, okay, this is Virginia Tech with Beamer ball all over again. But they're a naptime team. That's not disrespectful. Look, everybody has to fit a role in the National Football League. The Raiders are a great team to take a nap to. The Raiders are a fantastic team to take a nap to. Broncos, Raiders, Seahawks, whatever team is at that 325 in my area slate, I'm hitting the hardest nap of all time. I'm probably dreaming that I'm in the game. I'm waking up. I'm like, what did I miss? I look at my phone. Oh, I missed 10 punts. That's tough. 10 punts is tough. But Bo Nix is getting better by the week. Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, race for Coach of the Year. And that's the bottom line. Because I said so. But we got the Broncos correct. Moving on, you had the Cardinals going in to Seattle to play the Seahawks. I'm taking a sip of my water. And a lot of people thought Cardinals coming off bye. They've been rolling. It's about time. They're going to beat someone on the road. They did. Seahawks 16, Cardinals 6. This was a smash mouth game. Seahawks looked good. This was a game of, it was a very, how should I put this, methodical game. If you guys get what I'm saying. It was kind of boring. I'm just going to be frank. I'm just going to be frank and real. It was boring. The Seahawks, they look good. Kenneth Walker is a dog. They have a good 1-2 punch. They have JSN, who is getting better and better. He's looking more like the college JSN. Special. They're hitting stride at a good time to hit stride. The Cardinals, however, look, Kyler had a bad throw. Probably the worst one he'll throw this season at a very bad point. It happens. Here's the thing. Everybody is one game apart in the NFC West. The NFC West, rest is something I need, though. It is very late. However, what am I complaining about, right? It's a one-game race. Every single game means something. It's not like you're the Jaguars and you're just like, okay, mock draft season. No. You have Trey McBride, who's a stud. Kyler is a stud. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a stud. James Conner is a stud. Don't give up yet. A lot of people like to throw the baby out with the bathwater and be like, oh, we lost a big game. It's over. No, it's not. it ain't over until the fat lady sings. And she hasn't even entered the building yet for the NFC West. Nobody knows who's going to win. Preseason, everyone said the Niners. Now the Niners are the last team in the West. They are the last team. So what does that mean? That means you got to pick up a rock and you got to start throwing it, man. Every single week, week in, week out, you need to outwork every single team. Every single game means something. It's not going to be like the Lions are playing a community college and they can just let all the second string go out there. Hendon Hooker throws for 7 million yards. No, you can't do that. This is going to be Week 18, Sunday Night Football type of game. But we did get the Seattle Seahawks correct. We got a lot of games correct, actually. Moving on, we have another NFC West division versus the NFC North. The 49ers coming into Lambeau, and the Packers thumped them 38-10. Look, I understand a lot of people think, because I'm a Packers fan, I'm going to be hooting and hollering, beating my chest, saying this is Green Bay Packers football. I feel okay about this. 49ers, Purdy was out. Trent Williams was out. Bosa was out. Hufanga was out. Ayuk was out. I think Juwan Jennings was out. It was just everybody was out. Packers had some guys missing too, but here's the thing. You took care of the team that you needed to take care of. Now you have a 94% chance of making the playoffs. Might be 99 if you beat Miami at home on Thursday. You got out of the game healthy, and you have the late game Thanksgiving Thursday. One thing that does concern me is if you did sit down and watch the game, and it wasn't a great watch, to be honest. It was a very slow-paced game. Jordan Love is concerning to me. I understand a lot of Packers fans, in my opinion, are delusional, saying, oh, he's the greatest quarterback in the league. He made some throws that were just head-scratching, that should have been picked, honestly. He probably should have had 3 picks today. He didn't, though, so you can't count it against him. But then he also made a throw to Christian Watson at the end of the second half, hit him in the hands as he is about to walk in to the end zone, and he dropped it. Happens quite a lot, actually. He's got to be leading the league in drops, even though he's played 2 less games than everybody. But hey, Packers, they can run the ball, they can play great defense. And when you have a stadium in the freezing cold, that's what you need to do. You need to run the ball well, you need to play great defense, and the defense is relatively healthy with the guys who are hurt coming back. The offensive line, relatively healthy. Josh Jacobs looks good. Xavier McKinney, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I'm not saying he's going to win, but he is going to be in the conversation. He leads the league in interceptions. Another thing with the 49ers, you need a quarterback that can play right now. And I know a quarterback / free safety that was just waived and released. That's looking for a place to call home. If I'm the 49ers, I'm calling Daniel Jones and be like, hey, come here. You know why? I'm going to be like, look at what we just did for Sam Darnold. That can be you. Come in to Kyle Shanahan's rehabilitation camp for quarterbacks and learn. Sit back, chill. And we will show you. Number one, we've always talked about Kyle Shanahan with the rushing quarterback. He had Trey Lance for a couple games, then he broke his leg. Daniel Jones is one of the top rushing quarterbacks in the NFL. Whether you like it or not, that is the facts. That is the facts. I think he's one of 25 quarterbacks ever with 7 rushing touchdowns in a season. I think it works. Daniel Jones gets to chill, get paid his money, and relax. I might as well do it in somewhere sunny and warm and chill. San Francisco has kind of a problem. Don't go downtown because it's a lot of crime down there, right? But Daniel Jones, man, kick your feet up. Let Kyle Shanahan show you the ropes, and you'll be all right. Sure, there's poop on the street, but hey, when you got to go, you got to go. I'm not actually sure if that's a real thing. I have the Facebook feed of an old man. I went on Facebook for the first time in 7 years a couple days ago because I used to, the reason I have Facebook, never have posted something on Facebook. The reason I have it It's because they used to have this app called Bike Race on your phone. And if you logged into Facebook, you can get a cool bike. So I did that. And now I went off topic. But the Packers handled the Niners like they were supposed to. Good for them. Give them a round of applause. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, we're the greatest team of all time. Because we're not. We have some very big glaring problems that hopefully will get addressed. Kicker doesn't seem to be one of them. And I'm happy about that. Secondary? Yeah. And now we go in to Sunday Night Football. We had the Eagles at the Rams, and it was insane to watch, not from a football game perspective, but from a Saquon Barkely perspective. This man went for 302 total yards and 2 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns over 70 yards. He just set his career high in rushing yards in a season. It's week 12. I know the Giants were absolutely sick watching football today. Xavier McKinney, clutch pick, runs it almost all the way back. Leonard Williams balls out on the D-line. Saquon Barkely goes for 302 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Eagles are rising. Opposite of last season. Last season, they were number 1 in the league. Back half of the season completely fell apart. That's not the case now. Saquon Barkely might win the MVP. I said the Philadelphia Eagles aren't the greatest passing team. You don't need to be when you have Saquon Barkely out there. And you guys might be like, oh, that's Glaze. This man jumped over someone backwards. Glaze, call it Glaze. Dude, that's insane. I want that guy on my team. I'm jealous he's not on my team. Who doesn't want the Captain America, super soldier serum injected running back who can break off a 70-yard touchdown run, dribble someone off the turf with a stiff arm, and jump over someone backwards? I want it. That's who I want. Right? So what are we doing here, man? The Rams, like I said, NFC West is a rock fight. Did you guys ever do that when you were a kid? Because I used to all the time. We would all like grab rocks, not stand close to each other, but we would like grab these gravel rocks, walking to and from school, me and all the kids in my neighborhood, and we would just huck them at each other. Remember one kid, his name was Alex. Dude, I got him good one time. But then we all saw like it split his forehead, and I was like, dude, that's my bad. But you should have moved. Because I threw it from far away. He just didn't get out of the way. It was like the Green Goblin in the brand new Spider-Man movie when he's looking up and he's like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what Alex looked like. Shout out Alex. If you're listening to this, he doesn't even have a scar though. So, dude, stop being soft. Told his mom about it. Like, dude, you're the one who threw the rock at me. I just retaliated. That's on you, big dog. If you don't want to get hit with a rock, don't throw it at me. I won't start it, but I will finish it. And I did finish it. Look, man, you throw a 50-mile-per-hour changeup. I threw straight gas, and you didn't move out of the way. That's on you, big dog. Alex's mom, if you are listening too, that was your son. I didn't rat him out, but he threw it at me first. Anywho, Saquon Barkely is the MVP of the league right now. It's going to change every single week because we have that kind of no one wants it thing going around. It's Josh Allen. It's Lamar Jackson. It's Saquon. It's Jared Goff. No, I'm kidding. I just try to sneak that in because that was my preseason take. We got the Rams wrong. But the thing is, the Rams D-line looked good, but it's just you're playing against, how do you want to die? Do you want to die by A.J. Brown? Do you want to die by a suffocating secondary, a great D-line, or Saquon Barkely? And then Saquon Barkely went out, then Kenneth Gainwell, because they have such a good offensive line. You have a good offensive line. You have a decent enough quarterback who does have turnover problems. That's the thing. I mean, you saw it when they went to the Super Bowl. Costly turnovers. Jalen Hurts kind of has that Jordan Love in him, where he does have costly turnovers. Not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but now that you have Saquon, you don't have to do it as much. Then there you go. Then you're good. But we got the Rams wrong. Moving on to the Monday night preview for all of my video watchers. The camera did just go out. We are going to turn it off and turn it back on really quick. I lied. It didn't work. So if you were watching the audio or the video, my fault. It's over for you guys. But for all my audio listeners, we're going into the Monday night preview, and it's going to be the Harbaugh Bowl. You have the Ravens against the Chargers. The Ravens need a bounce back, right? You lost to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh lost. Doors open for you in the division. That's just the facts. Chargers, you sneak out a win over the Bengals. It was kind of iffy, but you got it done. Sweet. That's what it's all about. What do I think is going to happen? I think we are going to see a Ladd McConkey legacy game. Because the Ravens secondary is brutal. Just brutal to watch. Their run defense is not bad at all. The Chargers defense, I think we see Zay Flowers and Ladd McConkey go band for band. I can't lie. Quentin Johnson might even throw a little something in there too. Then you have Aguilar. I feel like a Nelson Aguilar game. But I think this game is either going to be 42-39 or 10-7. You have two good kickers. Granted, Tucker's struggling, but we all know it's Justin Tucker. I would still let him kick a 60-yarder with my life on the line. Actually, no, I'm lying. I would probably go to Brandon Aubrey. Actually, no, I'm lying. He missed 2 today as well. You know what? If there's a 60-yarder on the line and an NFL kicker is kicking it, tell my mom I love her. Because it ain't happening. But give me the Ravens to win this game. You know, I just want to see everyone have fun. This is brotherly love. Right? There's nothing cooler. Like, think of how cool it is for the dad of the Harbaughs just to watch his, freaking sons coaching against each other in the NFL. He already saw it in the Super Bowl back in 2012. He saw his oldest son win a Super Bowl, saw his youngest son win a national title, and now both of them are probably going to be in the playoffs. Pretty neat. But give me the Ravens to win this game. Now, a lot of college football stuff did happen, but this has been a very long episode, 47 minutes to be exact. So we are going to take all of that, and we are going to talk about college football on the Wednesday edition of the show, along with the Thanksgiving stuff, all of that. We are actually starting to get some traction on the YouTube, on the Spotify, and for that, I appreciate you guys. So I will leave you with this. Have a great day or night whenever you are listening/watching to this. If you're watching to this, my camera cut out. I don't know why. I have a bad PC. Don't got the money to fix it, so we're just going to go with it. God bless. Jesus loves you. Peace.